afternoon, Facebook. How are you? So this is just a quick video. Just coming to express my gratitude. So as most of you know, I've been jumping rope for a very long time, since I was a kid, but my skill was developed by two former middleweight boxers back in 1999, and I've ran with it ever since. Why jump rope? Because jump rope is it was just fun, you know, and I never knew that something so simple would turn out to be as great, especially in my life, as it's become. So just a little background history. I am a self-taught jumper. I've been jumping of course y'all see I'm black, duh. But but in my time, hey Chris, in my time of growing up, like I was born in 79, y'all, giving out my age, but when I was growing up in the 80s, that's what we did. Like, I lived in Harlem, and that's what we did. We went outside for lunch break, and we played little jump rope games. So, like, double dutch. We played a lot of straight rope games, like trip around the world, 2 on time, don't be late. All kinds of games we used to play. And in the summertime, I would walk down the street and we would, see people always playing double dutch. So we used to go in and do like a freestyle, like, hey, y'all, I'll turn and for some jumps and yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of how I grew up in my childhood. But, as I started getting older, I didn't see other, I would like walk down the street looking forward to seeing people playing double dutch and being able to say, like, hey, look, I'll turn for some jumps. But of course, as times change, as generation change, people moved away from double dutch. And so, that was that. So moving forward in life, I, as a little girl, I found single rope, and what piqued I don't know at what particular time I really found interest, but it wasn't something that I was really taught, but it was something that I loved to do. And one of a few of my earliest memories, one was when I was in 6th grade, and I used to go outside, because that's what we did back before all these tablets and stuff came out. We used to actually go outside and play. And that's how, you could kind of keep the obesity rate low and keep your kids active and stuff. And so what I did is hey Anita, hey LaShawn, Sheree. So what I did is I used to go outside, I used to try to jump, I used to practice, and I could remember this particular instance when I was trying to learn how to do the double under, and I used to do a double under, fall flat on my butt, and my mother used to scream out the window like, Bernadette, stop it. But I maintained practicing, and then my next earliest memory of jump rope as a kid or single rope was when I was in the 7th grade, and we had a contest to see like how many jumps you can do in a minute, and I was able to do 240. I got a trophy, lost it in storage some years ago, but that was another early memory. And that was just like my 2 earliest memories. So in 1999, I remember I was in the city, and me and my friend used to hang out in the city, and I was down on 14th Street. So if y'all are familiar with New York City, 14th Street is like downtown Manhattan, a very expensive place to live. Everything down there is expensive. So me and my friend were walking around, and at this time, I had just finished a year and a half of college, and I did not know that I had gained like the freshman 50, okay? They say 20, I probably gained like the freshman 50. So I remember from walking around, and I said, hey, it was Equinox. And anybody know anything about Equinox? It's a very expensive gym. So we were walking around. I'm like, hey, let's go check this gym out. And so we go inside the gym. I pick up the schedule of classes, and there was a class called Arrow Box, Arrow Jump. So I said, hey, is this a jump rope class? And they was like, yeah. I was like, sign me up. Now, I'm going to just let y'all know, I had lawsuit money at that time because there was no other way I was going to be able to afford that $120 gym membership per month. Okay, so yeah, that was lawsuit money. But joining that gym, and at that time I was 19, so I didn't know anything about eating right. I didn't know anything about exercise. I didn't know anything about nothing. So I basically joined that gym off the strength that there was a jump rope class. I'm being honest. And as I joined and I came in, I started taking that class. And let me just go back to Equinox being my first gym experience. So a lot of you know, like, I have like a lot of energy. I'm a very like ha ha he he. That's my personality. So I was going to the gym like with a bunch of gay dudes, okay? I mean, I'm sure the whole gym wasn't gay, but you know. So and the fitness classes, it just made the fitness classes awesome because like that's all I did. I used to just go to classes to do the treadmill because I didn't know nothing about push-ups, calisthenics, weight training. I didn't know none of that at that time. So I used to just go to classes, get on the treadmill, go to classes, get on the treadmill. So in our aerobics classes, they killed me because the guys were like so full of energy, and it's like the guys were like all in the front row competing against each other. So it just gave out that energy that I love. So going back to the jump rope, because y'all know I be getting scatterbrained. Going back to the jump rope classes, the class was taught by Michael Olajide Jr., former middleweight boxer. Right now, he has his own gym now, Arrow Box NYC, which he's had for many years now. And it was like the first portion of the class is like a Tai Boish type class. So you're punching, you're kicking, you're doing all kind of maneuvers. And then the second half was like a jump rope. So in that jump rope class, I basically learned like form. Okay, so I learned basically the rules of jump rope, form, breathing, things like that I wasn't taught formally. And then there was another boxer there, a middleweight boxer by the name of Stephen Johnson. Stephen Johnson was he was actively fighting at that time, and he's the one that taught me tricks. So even though at the time I never took his class, I think it was an extra fee to take his class, he saw my passion and my love for jump rope, and he took me under his wing. And if he had time when he wasn't busy, he would work with me. So he's the one that taught me the 180, the 360, and then there's a couple of other tricks he taught me. And unfortunately, you know, he was in a fight, and you know, as a result, he was in a coma. He passed away. So there's a trick that he taught me that to this day is basically named after him. It's called SJs. So that trick is dedicated to that boxer. Oh, I miss him. Like he was. I think if it wasn't for Michael Olajide Jr. and Stephen Johnson, I don't think that I would be as passionate about jump rope as I am now. So moving forward, I was jumping rope, I was taking these classes, and I was on the treadmill. I was 20 at the time, so food really wasn't, you know, whatever. But like a year later, I was like 165 pounds, okay? And I was just a cardio head. And looking back at pictures now, I look so skinny because I was doing no weights whatsoever, no nothing. So it was just straight, just cardio. So anyway, you know, years later, I'm just doing great things with jump rope. And you know, I've been jumping rope for a very long time. And since 2012, I started teaching jump rope. And what I did, what the size of, yeah, it's the one where we go 1, 2, jump, 1, 2, jump, 1, 2, jump. So basically, that's a popular trick with boxers. But the way that you see a boxer doing it and the way that Stephen Johnson taught me is two total different things. It looks like two total different things, but in essence, the same thing. But it's just the style and the flair of it that's different. Yes, SJ. So I've been teaching classes since 2012. I've taught classes. I've done workshops. I've done work with basketball teams. I've worked with boxers. I've worked with the fire department. I've worked with children. I've worked with adults. So I didn't just pop up. You know, a lot of times, and this is just another sidebar, when there's something in life that you want to do, you have to work so hard for it, or you have to put in many, you have to put in many years of hard work before you get noticed. Like there's a lot of people out here that you may see their video might go viral this one time, but they've been putting videos out for 10 years before. Okay, so like if you even go to my YouTube channel, I've been putting videos on YouTube since about 2000 and probably 10. It's crazy. You know, and I say all of this to say it takes many years to become an overnight wonder. People don't just become an overnight wonder like after like 1 or 2 years. Like it takes time, and some people may disagree with me and because of technology and how technology has really made, or social media has made it easy to like really just put stuff out there. But you also got to realize that your up with the millions of other people that's putting stuff out there as well. So even like coming to mind in the fitness world, Keith Thompson. I know Keith Thompson. A lot of you seen him. His videos are everywhere. The spin guy, the spin instructor, Keith Thompson, KTX Fitness. Now, I don't remember, it was like a few years ago, because I did meet him. A few years ago, one of his videos went viral, right? And now he's everywhere. He's teaching in Africa. He's teaching here. He's teaching there. He teaches classes in ATL, but every weekend he's going somewhere and he's teaching. And when I went to his YouTube channel, I noticed that he's been putting out videos for many years. But somehow this one video became viral, and now look what he's doing, you know? So, you know, like I said, I've been teaching classes for a very long time. And what's been happening is a lot of times I became discouraged because people would come and then people wouldn't come, or everybody be like, oh my gosh, I want to come, but never show up. And what was happening was I was renting these spaces. Renting these spaces to teach classes are not cheap. So it's like people say, I'm going to come, and then they never show up, and then that's like $80 that went down the drain, you know? So it's discouraging. It's really discouraging. But I made a promise to myself this year. This year I made a promise to myself. I'm going to teach no matter what. I'm going to teach no matter what. So this year, starting in February, I made a promise to myself. I'm going to teach. No matter what. I'm just going to do it. And thank goodness that I stuck to my gut. And I just want to give a huge shout out to those of you that have been faithful. Sheree, thank you for your support. I just thank everybody that's come to class. Even today's class was filled with like people that came to my class months ago, or people that's been supporting me for some time now. But I'm just grateful for everyone that's shown up for me, that's, you know, that made me see why I should have kept doing these classes, you know. Because sometimes people just want a little consistency. People just want to see that you're consistent, you know, but at the same time, you know, I, as the person in business, don't want to waste money, you know, and time, you know, that I can be spending with my family. But you just got to really be consistent and see where it goes from there. So, you know, I'm really blessed, and I'm really grateful for those of you that have supported me. And, you know, a lot of times, when talking about my classes, I hear a lot of excuses. Oh my gosh, I live too far. Oh, okay, but because my classes are in Manhattan. Oh, are you teaching in Queens? Oh, are you teaching in Brooklyn? I have people like today, someone came out from Bayonne, New Jersey, okay? I've had people come from Connecticut. I have had people come from Canada. I've had people drive 4 hours from Boston. So when people give me excuses that Manhattan is too far, like, I just don't care anymore, because other people have shown me otherwise. People have come from Long Island. Long Island is far. Waking up, and this is when my classes were at 9 o'clock in the morning, I had people come from Long Island on the Long Island Railroad, which is probably an hour and a half to 2 hours just to come to class at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, these are the people. I've had people come from Yonkers. I've had people come from, what's that part in the Bronx? Oh gosh, Riverdale. I've had people come from like 241st Street. So it's like, you know, when other people give me excuses like, oh my gosh, you know, it's too far to get to Manhattan from the Bronx. Like, it just goes over my head, you know, or the people that say, hey, can I just pay in person? That just means you're not coming to class, because when you register for something, that means that you're committed to something and that you're going to show up, and you're showing that person that's putting on the event that you're interested, and you're not just saying you're interested with your mouth, but you're showing that you're interested in person. So I just want to give a huge thank you for those of you that have supported me, that have come to my classes this year, that have shared, you know, what I'm doing with others, that have talked about it, that have posted it on social media, that's coming to my classes, that's using what I'm teaching you and doing other things. I just thank you. I'm grateful, because without you, there are no classes. Without you, there's no Jump to Burn. Without you, you know, there's no me. I mean, there is a me, but what fun is it by myself? So I just want to say thank you. With that being said, my next and final class of 2018 is on December 22nd. December 22nd is my last Jump to Burn class of 2018. You don't want to miss it. Come out, register today. I'm going to update the link so that you can get your tickets. I already have it listed on my Make It Fun NYC page on Facebook. So you can go there, share it out, telling other people that you are indeed interested or that you're coming to class. Classes in New York City, classes in Manhattan.